Hey there, rock and roll renegades and closet air drummers. You know the drill. Welcome to the channel where we dissect the hits that haunt your playlist like a bad ex.
Today, we're zeroing in on a track that's seeped into every corner of pop culture. Phil Collins's In the Air Tonight. Yeah, that one.
The song that turns mild-mannered accountants into furious fist-pumpers the second those drums kick in. If you've never blasted it in your car at midnight pretending you're in a moody 80s thriller, well, are you even breathing? But hold on to your mullets, folks, because this isn't just a banger. It's a beast born from betrayal, wrapped in myths wilder than a Genesis reunion tour gone wrong. We're gonna unpack the heartbreak that sparked it, the studio sorcery that launched it, the urban legends that won't die, and the cultural chaos it's unleashed. And yeah, I'll throw in some puns so bad they'll make you groan louder than Phil's gated reverb. Let's dive in, shall we? Feel it coming? Picture this. It's the late 70s and Phil Collins, yeah, the bald-headed beatmaster from Genesis, isn't exactly living the dream. He's just wrapped up touring with the band, cranking out prog rock epics that make your brain hurt in the best way. But home life? That's where the real drama hits. Phil's marriage to his first wife, Andrea Bertarelli, is crumbling faster than a stale biscuit. They met back in drama school as kids, romantic, right? Fast forward to adulthood, 3 kids later, and bam, infidelity allegations, separations, the whole messy shebang. Phil's gutted, folks. Absolutely wrecked. So what does he do? Does he hit the pub and drown his sorrows in pints? No, that's too pedestrian for our Phil. He holes up in his Sussex home, turns it into a makeshift studio, and starts pouring his rage into music like a mad scientist brewing revenge potions. Now, In the Air Tonight wasn't some meticulously planned opus. Oh no, it was raw improvised fury. Phil had just scored this fancy new Roland CR-78 drum machine, the kind that sounds like a robot having an existential crisis. He starts tinkering, laying down that eerie, echoing beat. The lyrics? They spilled out like venom from a fresh wound. Well, if you told me you were drowning, I would not lend a hand. Oof. Straight from the divorce diaries, my friends. Phil's admitted it was all about that post-breakup bitterness, the kind where you're so mad, you'd watch your ex struggle just to savor the pettiness. But here's the kicker. He didn't even write it down at first. Just hit record, mumbled some placeholders, and let the anger flow. Trivia time! Did you know this was one of the first tracks he demoed for his solo debut? And get this, the iconic drum fill. That wasn't scripted either. Phil was just venting, slamming those toms like they owed him alimony. What if, in an alternate universe, Phil had taken up knitting instead? We'd have sweaters with "I Feel It Coming" embroidered on them, but no anthem for dramatic slow-motion scenes. Ha! Talk about a stitch in time saving 9 lives. Okay, that pun's a stretch, but hey, divorce will do that to you. Fast forward to the album phase and things get even juicier. Phil's not content with bedroom demos. He ropes in big guns like Earth, Wind and Amp, fires horn section and his Genesis buddy Daryl Stuermer on guitar. The record's called Face Value, released in February 1981. But the single In the Air Tonight drops a month earlier, like a stealth bomb. Shenanigans. Oh, plenty. Recording happened in fits and starts across studios in London and LA, with Phil juggling Genesis duties like a circus act on thin ice. But the real magic, and I mean wizard-level stuff, comes from engineer Hugh Pagham. This guy's a sound sorcerer. Back in 1979, while working on Peter Gabriel's 3rd album, Phil drummed on that too, they stumbled on this gated reverb trick. Basically, you crank the reverb on the drums, then slam a noise gate to cut it off sharp. Boom, no lingering echo, just that massive, punchy wallop. It was an accident, born from a talkback mic picking up Phil's beats in the studio. Fast forward to Face Value, and they amp it up for In the Air Tonight, that drum entrance at 3:16. It's not just a fill, it's a cultural earthquake. Phil later joked it was like the drums were coming in the air tonight. Hold on. Wait, that's the lyric, but you get it. Pun intended. And let's not gloss over the release drama. Virgin Records bets big on Phil's solo pivot, but critics? Mixed bag. Some call it too poppy, others dig the vulnerability. Sales-wise though, it skyrockets, #1 in the UK, multi-platinum everywhere. But here's obscure trivia for you. The album cover? That's Phil's face, up close and personal, staring you down like he's about to spill secrets. Rumour has it he wanted it that way to confront his own face value after the divorce. Shenanigan alert. During mixing, Phil allegedly scrapped and redid parts obsessively, driving engineers nuts. What if he'd kept the original demo's lo-fi vibe? We'd have a low-res hit in a hi-fi world. Absurd, right? Like serving caviar on a paper plate. And swipe at the industry. Back then, solo drummers going pop was like a fish learning to fly. Phil didn't just fly, he soared, leaving skeptics eating crow. Or should I say, drumming up excuses. All right, now we're hitting the meaty part. How In the Air Tonight clawed its way to mythic status. Post-release, it climbs charts. #2 in the UK, 19 in the US, but it's the slow burn that turns it legendary. Enter the Controversies, starting with that infamous urban legend. You know the one. Phil supposedly witnesses a guy drowning, or in darker versions, a rape, while some bystander does zilch. Years later, he invites the creep to a concert, spotlights him during the song, and bam, guilt trip of the century. Even wilder twists involve the dude being a camp counselor, or Phil donating proceeds to life-saving charities. Eminem name drops it in Stan, rapping about drowning in a trunk while the song plays. But folks, it's all bollocks. Phil's debunked it a million times. No drowning, no spotlight shaming. It's straight-up divorce anger, pure and simple. He told BBC it's frustration about my ex-wife, not some vigilante tale. Why does it persist? Because the lyrics are vague enough to fuel fan fiction. Obscure trivia. The myth exploded in the 90s via email chains, pre-internet virality. What if it was true? Phil would have been the original Batman of ballads, dark, brooding, and drum-heavy. Ha! Instead, he's just a guy who turned heartbreak into hooks. And backmasking myths? Let's debunk that noise right now. Unlike Led Zeppelin's Stairway with its alleged satanic whispers when played backward, In the Air Tonight has zilch. Spin it reverse and you get garbled nonsense. No devil deals, no hidden commands to buy more Genesis albums. Phil's too straightforward for that occult BS. He's more pub rock than pentagram. Cultural ripple effects? Massive. The song pops in 1983's Risky Business, underscoring Tom Cruise's wild train ride. Talk about feeling it coming. Then Miami Vice in '84. Phil guest stars in an episode where the track blares during a sting op. Ironic, since the show's vibe owes a debt to that gated sound. Fast forward. Hangover movie uses it for a tiger scene. Grand Theft Auto games blasted on radios. Even politics. Remember when Mike Huckabee used it in a 2008 campaign ad? Phil wasn't thrilled, sent a cease and desist faster than that drum fill. Satirical swipe. Politicians co-opting rock is like your dad trying to meme, cringy and out of touch. And controversies? No major lawsuits here, but Phil did sue a tabloid once for false divorce stories. Respect to the man, he keeps it real without embellishing. Now legacy time, where the weirdness lingers like smoke in a dive bar. 4 decades on, In the Air Tonight isn't just a song, it's a phenomenon. That gated reverb? It birthed a whole 80s drum era, influencing everyone from Prince's When Doves Cry to modern producers sampling it. Covers galore, non-points metal version, Lord's haunting take. Trivia obscure as a B-side. In 2007, Cadbury's ad features a gorilla air drumming to it, sending the song back to UK Top 20. Who knew Chocolate and Collins were a match? Ripple effects on culture. It's the go-to for dramatic reveals in TV. Think South Park parodying The Myth, or reaction vids blowing up. Remember those twins, Tim and Fred Williams, hearing it first time in 2020? Their viral freakout got millions views, proving the song's timeless punch. Weirdness. Fans swear it's cursed, play it at parties and drama ensues. Absurd what if? What if Phil had auto-tuned it? We'd have a robotic revenge anthem but lose that raw edge. Self-roast aside. As your narrator, I've air-drummed to this more times than I've admitted, usually ending in spilled beer. Swipe at modernity. In a world of TikTok tunes, this track reminds us real music builds tension, doesn't drop it in 15 seconds. Ooh, we've covered the air, the tonight, and everything in between. If this tale of heartbreak, hits, and hilarity got your pulse racing, smash that like button, subscribe for more musical mayhem, and drop a comment. What's your wildest in the air tonight memory? Share it before it vanishes in the air. Until next time, hold on, feel it coming? Peace out.